And I read on your website that all of you were you weren't new to the whole music scene. So this was a sort of you're some of you are arrived musicians already and had some even some awards I saw on the internet.
Yeah, yeah. I guess for Jamie and myself, we're fairly established, what we call original composition musicians in New Zealand, although I've had a career as a cover musician as well to help myself pay for being in the studio. So I would go out and play shows, earn $200-300. This is 10 years ago now, and save it all up for weeks and weeks and months just to go into a studio to record so that I could become a recording artist. So I've been a recording artist now with a band in New Zealand called Opshop, and we're really fortunate that we've had some really big success in New Zealand. But to keep it all in context, New Zealand's a very small territory. We've only got 4 million people, but for our band Opshop, we've had 4 albums, and we've had multi-platinum selling records. We were the first band in New Zealand to have a #1 single and a #1 album at the same time, and played to some very big shows. I'm very, very fortunate. But as a person who's been in a band for near on a decade, I was always jealous that people like Jamie here, who's a hip hop artist. When it came to the costs of production, let's get into the cost of production. It's all by and large, it costs the same when you're in the studio. But when you get out into a live context with a band, we've got 4 people playing, we've got all the equipment, we've got people that set up the equipment, we've got drivers, we have to pay them all about $400 a day. And, the cost of doing a show can be anywhere from $15,000 to $20,000 a day. So if you're on a tour for a couple of weeks, it gets pretty expensive, but with a hip-hop band, they turn up with their backpack and their CDs and their caps and some microphones, not even the microphones, and they just put the CD in and they just sing along.
What was the moment you decided that this is the thing I'm going to do and this is the thing I'm going to do for real? I'm going to make a career of this. And what triggered that decision?
Well, actually, funnily enough, I think when I was about 8 years old, I was asking my parents for money to go buy some sweets, and they said no, you can't have any. So I went outside the supermarket, and I got my guitar and I got a little plastic bag and I played, and it took me like 15 minutes and I made like $50, and that was like, I love this. This is great. I get to be a musician. That was from the get-go. I've always wanted to be a musician, so it was really. Actually dropped out of school at 15. Went straight into a music college, did 3 years there, and actually go back there and teach it as well. But I think it was, it's always been in my blood, in my veins, to just keep doing music as much as I can.
There must have been a point in time where you just figured out, like, okay, when you're 12 years old, you just do it for fun. It's something that internally happens. But there's also a moment where you realize, okay, wait, I can make a career out of this, because then you get, like, I don't know at what age, but at a certain point, you'd be like, okay.
I think I was 35.
Yeah, well, So
yeah, it was about 2 years ago when we went platinum in New Zealand. I thought, shit, I might be able to pay my rent. I was sort of right. It was that long, bro. For me, it's just because I'm a hip hop artist, like Jay said, and it's generally, if you don't have a lot of success early, it's quite a underground kind of career. People don't really know your stuff, and you don't make a lot of money. And I didn't, and it's just like dedication. It's like knowing that there's nothing else that you want to do. That's what it was for me.
A lot of young aspiring artists think that things go very fast, and that you find the right person and you get the right clip and you get the contract and you get like this. But the reality is that you have to be like really persistent in what you're doing and keep going at it. And if you're lucky, then something might happen.
And I think probably for me, true to your own self, like what you want to do. Like you can write songs that you think are going to do well, and I'm sure people do that, and some people probably crack it and do really well. But I could never do that, and I had to do just songs that I believed in. It was just being an artist, right? And it was, for me, I just feel like there's a lot of luck and synchronicity that comes into it. When I met these guys on a musical basis 10 years ago, we would just jam together at pubs, at this pub that Jace used to play at, and it was always a beautiful, like, co-collaboration. And it was nothing about trying to get successful. It was just about having a great night. And when we started, like, collaborating again, that was the vibe, right? It was just, man, we were literally looking after our mates' kids while they went out, and we were making jams, and they were just choice. And we're like, shit, everybody came home and started dancing and partying to it. So we're like, well, this is dope. Maybe we should put this on stage, because it seems like too many people are missing out on it.
Yeah. There must have been a point, maybe for all of you or for some of you, that you were thinking, you know what, I've been doing this for too long, and this isn't going anywhere, and just forget about it. I'm gonna do something else. Or not necessarily to get there, period, but like approaching that point. And the question I have is, how did this happen? But more interesting, how did you get over it and, continue the things that you were your path?
Yeah. Well, I've only just recently gone full-time in music with the band. I've been lucky enough to have the opportunity to play with these great guys. When I was younger, I tried the music scene. I was doing cover gigs and stuff like that. It wasn't working out for me. I had bills to pay. Everyone's got bills to pay.
Exactly.
It's not easy sometimes. And for 2 years, I ummed and ahed, and I wondered how much longer can I do this for, until it just, I had to go and get a job. I had to go get a full-time job. Music kind of slipped to the side. But it's always been there. Music never, ever went away. And I think if you're a true musician, no matter what you're doing, it's always going to be there. So I was always writing songs with friends and doing music and singing every now and then, but I wasn't living the full-time musician life like these guys were doing. And then just constantly doing that and doing it for years, and then there's an opportunity. My friend played a song to Jason. Jason goes, hey, we're doing the same stuff. We joined together, and then... So I didn't... What I'm saying is I didn't plan any of this. Nothing's been planned here. We were lucky enough to follow the opportunities that we were given. And I guess that's the most important thing, is if you stay around like-minded individuals, people that really love the music, people that live the music, then eventually you're going to end up being in the music.
Only from my perspective, it's nothing to do with luck. Well, kind of is. Depends how you frame luck. And I learned this from Oprah Winfrey, actually. That's
okay, wait. If everybody looks under their chair...
It's a free babysitter album.
You get a cuckoo clock.
No, but I remember her saying that. I can't remember where she got it from, but I got it from her. And she said luck is preparation meeting opportunity. And that's actually all it is. And so if you're very persistent in what you do and you follow your excitement and your highest excitement, you're always involved in the highest level of aspiration for whatever it is, and for you alone, if for no other reason. And so you've always got momentum, you've always got evolution of the product, let's call it, so that when that opportunity comes along, you go, actually we can give you a CD for the Rugby World Cup, because that's how Alles komt goed, everything's going to be all right. That's how that song came about, because a friend of mine was producing World Cup television and said we need a song, and we said, well, actually we've got a song and it's ready. And had we not followed up on the story that Selwyn just told about that song and released it, we probably wouldn't be sitting here talking about it.
Yeah. Some advice that you absolutely want to share with them, like say, this is something you have to know, you have to do. It's going to be on camera, so also for the people to see on the internet.
Should we say a quick one each?
Love and do what you will.
Talk to your accountant.
Network. I know I heard that so much, but in so many different ways. People are like, network and meet this man. How do you do that? Well, go to lots of parties, meet all the, just meet as many people as you can. And there's so many opportunities when you know people in any industry, and the music industry is exactly the same. It's so social. just being social, be yourself, and just get out there and go for it.
Love the music and believe in what you're doing and be unique. Like, really be unique. Everyone says be yourself, and it comes a bit cliche. But really, be yourself. That's what sells.